Hi and welcome to a new video. My name is Lotta, I'm the Hoarding Puffin, and this is yet again a Fable cosplay related video. I think the fourth now, but today I'm going to show you the process of making my Enderian cosplay. This has been such an ambitious project for me. I had so many struggles throughout making this, and I had so much fun making this. So a quick summary / explanation for people who are not aware what Fable SMP is. So Fable SMP is a live-streamed role-playing series that is done through Minecraft. So people use Minecraft to role-play and tell a story collaboratively. The overarching plot of the series is around a group of people who have to try and navigate a world that keeps resetting and changing because it is unstable. And there's a fair share of things that people simply don't know and try to figure out. They try to figure out why they are missing memories, they try to figure out familial connections. Most importantly, they try to figure out how to not get in trouble with the deities and also how to stop the world from collapsing in on itself more and more and more. A lot of the conflict is either sparked by or stirred on by the War of the Gods and how that impacts the worlds and how that impacts the children of these gods. So we have major and minor gods, which are separated into different courts, and the courts correspond to the different realms, which are Aether and Overworld and Nether. So the four major gods who each rule over one of these realms or domains are Fable, the sort of titular deity, Illyrion, Nethrum, and Enderian. Enderian is the ruler over the End, and she's the goddess of the mind. Enderian is the sister of the other three major gods. She is the mother of one of the characters of Fable. She's the mother of Ray, whom I've also cosplayed, and she is the primary antagonist of season 1, which is really fun, especially if you look at her in season 1 and then observe her character progression all the way to season 3. We get to see her grow and we get to see her relationships and how those function, the relationships she has with her siblings, specifically with Fable, her relationship with her lover Orchid, and her relationship with her son eventually, which is all really fun and satisfying. It was a different thing that enticed me about cosplaying her than it did Ray. With Ray, I stuck fairly close to his actual canonical design, which I like to do sometimes. I do the same with my Jester cosplay. The same is planned largely for my Caleb Widogast cosplay. And then there's characters where I like to interpret a bit more, and Enderian was one of these. Specifically, I kind of looked at the few canon character design elements we have of her, which is the long black hair, which is the ender eyes, and which is a deep cut black dress or dark colored dress. And I started mulling it over what I could do with that. One thing I really love doing in all sorts of costuming is embroidery, and I've been experimenting more with beading, so I knew I wanted to do that for her dress. And then I got the idea of doing a lot of black on black embroidery because I love the visual of that, because it's so subtle. Doing same color on same color embroidery is really fun to me. It was just fun. It was just fun making this costume. I had so much fun experimenting, especially with the embellishment and the beading. This is the first time I've really done such an ostentatious costume project. The only time I've really done a full dress with embroidery is Keyleth. And I love my Keyleth dress, and it's still one of my favorite things I've made, but it was originally made to be simplistic, both to fit Keyleth's character and also just because that was supposed to be one of my summer appropriate costumes, which is why I picked very lightweight linen, why I picked the cut that it is. And so it has a lot of detail in it, but it's hand of the maker type detail, not necessarily the most ostentatious embellishments, which I'm dipping in way more with this costume, and also some costumes to come, which is very fun. I'm very excited for those. I have been blabbing on for way too long, so let's just get into it. I don't know why I am having fit issues. No matter what I do, there is gaping in the front. I don't know what I did. I don't know what I did wrong. As per the pattern, this shouldn't be happening, but it is happening, which means, because I can't figure out what the fuck I did wrong, I need to go back to the drawing board, so to speak, which means I already wasted a month of sewing, because I have been working on that fucking bodice for a month. So I decided I'd go back and just reuse my Vexalia dress pattern for Enderian. I've, in this plan, failed to calculate in the chaos that is my patterns. I don't even want to call it stash. It is a big old folder. Well, this is a pocket pattern. All of the pieces of my Siri corset. Allegedly, this is a panel for skirt/shorts. Are you vexed? That is the question. Because this is not... See, this looks like Vex, but also doesn't. So I'm having questions. So good news, I found very unflattering photos of myself from August when I made this pattern, where I've wrapped myself in duct tape. Which means I now know which pattern is the correct one. Which now means I need to do a mock-up, and then the base layer, and then actually sew the dress. I don't know why I'm like this. I just realized that you can full on see my boober puppet in the background. He about describes my current mood. like 1 a.m. on February 17th. They just killed her. As I'm actively working on the cosplay for her. This is how I reacted to Molly Mock Tea Leaf's death. Was I went and watched Moomins. So now I'm gonna revert back to that. I'm gonna sit down and watch the Moomins. One thing that I knew I wanted to do with this costume was that I wanted to lean into my obsession with embroidery and beadwork, and I'm leaning into something that is usually referred to as heraldic dress, which like originated in the Middle Ages, and it was people would put their family heraldry on court clothing. The deities in Fable don't have heraldry to speak of, so I started thinking about just what might be associated with Enderian, what might be associated with the End, and one of the obvious choices was the Ender Dragon. But as I'm working on it, I'm just noticing that I'm drawing heavy inspiration from my favorite 2 Game of Thrones costumes. And my whole obsession with costuming started with Game of Thrones, and it started with the Michelle Carragher embroidery on the Game of Thrones costumes. So this is kind of... it's turning into an homage not just to this character, I guess, but also just to what got me into costuming. And my favorite 2 costumes are Marjorie Tyrell's first wedding dress and Sansa Stark's Queen of the North dress. So the silhouette of the dress is reminiscent of Marjorie's dress, and the embroidery and beading is reminiscent of what we see with Sansa's Queen in the North dress, where she, through embroidery and detailing, pays tribute to her entire life, to all of the people she's loved and lost, as well as just her home as the North and Winterfell. So you have the weirwood leaves to symbolize the North, you have the Stark wolf, you have the Tully fish, And so that is kind of mimicked in the embroidery and beading on Enderian's dress. And it's the Ender Dragon and chorus trees that are symbolizing the end. And then I snuck some small orchids in there to symbolize Enderian's love for Isla, and also I think it can also stand for her and Ray's relationship as well. It's interesting to me because this was not intended at all, and it's turned into this mix of, yes, this is a cosplay, but also it's kind of a tribute to my own costuming journey, which I think is nice and makes the dress kind of extra special.